Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Um, you know what's funny? I know I'm an idiot. I've gotten so many things wrong this year. It's true. I have missed on a lot of things this year. But I have been saying in the back of my mind, I said, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if Mike McCarthy returns next year. I've said that. I've said that. I said, especially if the Cowboys win a few games going down the stretch, that you'll sit there and say, well, if it weren't for all the injuries, we would have been okay. Okay, these are moral victories, and this is where sometimes a whole lot of change isn't necessarily the best thing out there. You see the Jets. The Jets, of course, figured let's get rid of Salah, and that's going to make a difference, and it didn't. It was the organization. Now it's get rid of Aaron Rodgers. But be that as it may, what I said to you guys, and now actually with Kavanaugh, seeing the video, shout out to Tara B, who said, check out Kavanaugh's video where he explains the whole cap situation. See, some of the things didn't make sense. If you were Dak Prescott, if you're a Dak Prescott fan, for Dak to sign the contract that he did, if the Cowboys are just going to do business the way they always do and literally get himself killed, right? You can love and want to be the quarterback of the Cowboys, but if your ultimate goal is to win a Super Bowl and you know that they're never going to do anything different than what they've done the last 30 years, then you don't sign with them. You don't sign with them. But he did. You heard Jerry talking about we're all in and all that crap and stuff, but then you heard him also saying we're going to have to do more with less. And this is where I know it sounds crazy when you listen to me with these things, but Jerry Jones didn't become a multi-billionaire by being stupid. And that's not to say he hasn't done stupid things, because in reality, most people that have been inventors or geniuses or rich people have struck out 95% of the time, but you only need that one big idea to make it big. Okay? You may be a genius, but you're not a genius on every single move. But I've been saying in the back of my head, what if the Cowboys, they looked at it and said, we're just going to do the best we can with what we have this year. We're not going to spend a whole bunch of money for aging players and things like that. We've got 27 free agents next year. If we do bad, we'll get higher draft picks like we did after the 2015 season, where we got Dak and Zeke. All of our picks, when you're bad, it's not just your first round pick that gets better. Your second round, your third round, your fourth, everything but the comp picks are higher picks. And the Cowboys, basically, their first round pick is almost a second round by the time they get to it. Their second round pick is almost a third round, and so on and so on. So this would be an opportunity, if the Cowboys weren't a good team, to have that happen. If the Cowboys don't win the division, then they have a third place, second place schedule, so you're not playing all the conference champions next year. And by not signing players, they have $21 million that's going to roll over to next year. $21 million on top of the $20 million in cap space that they have. That's $41 million, even with Dak Prescott at $89 million. With CeeDee Lamb at like $35 million cap hit. And they have built-in triggers where Dak Prescott's contract will go from $89 million to like a $37 million cap hit. And the same thing with CeeDee Lamb. The Cowboys can easily, without even cutting anybody, have $100 million. Okay? So what if the Cowboys said, Mike McCarthy, we're not doing shit, and we understand we're not expected to win anything. Dak, we're not going to get you any help this year. We're going to take our losses, and we're going to eat up get rid of all these old contracts, because D-Law, he's long in the tooth. This is the last year of his deal. Zach Martin, this is the last year of his deal. Brandon Cooks, and so on. Those contracts are going to expire, and we're going to create and have cap room galore. And next year, and the year after that, and the year after that is where we're going to really load up on talent. We'll have a lot of draft picks. We'll have got experience for our young guys, and we'll have money to bring in some studs. And we can get out of this same trap. And that they were giving Mike McCarthy a pass, especially after Dak Prescott got hurt. Because Jerry Jones, I'm working my way down the road here, has said, of course, because Jerry Jones likes to stir shit up, that he hasn't ruled out an extension for Mike McCarthy. Okay? We do know Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott hung out at Mike McCarthy's house when they went to Pittsburgh. That relationship with Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott has been really good. And that maybe the Cowboys are turning a corner and they're looking and saying, okay, our defense sucked, but we understand this when you lose 4 edge rushers, when you've got your number 1 D-back coming back from ACL surgery, your number 2 cornerback has just played his first game, and you got a new defensive coordinator, and you did absolutely nothing to help after you let go 9 players, that maybe you're cutting the coach some slack. So what we have here with Jerry Jones is he's all over the map. He's all over the map. And I can best believe that he's talking to people right now. Shout out to Game Time Brian and Primetime Phil, because when we were in Dallas, which was during San Francisco's bye week, John Lynch was here in Dallas. And it might be because apparently, I think San Francisco's looking at somebody else, one of their other former players, to become the GM. And that John Lynch may be out. And maybe Jerry Jones is talking to him about bringing him on board to help. I don't know. I don't know. Just saying. It's kind of strange that he was there in Dallas. I'm sure that he's talking to guys like Mike Vrabel, Bill Belichick and things. Of course, Michael Irvin about Dion and stuff. And kind of trying to make a judgment on here. I don't know. See, here's my thinking here is, I don't know that you can put all of the blame for the Cowboys' woes on Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy has gotten that offense playing pretty good in most of those years without the Cowboys doing a San Francisco or an Eagles. You could say Dak Prescott sucks and this, that, and the other, but I'd like to see Dak Prescott with like the players around the Eagles or San Francisco. We ain't done stuff like that. See, I keep hearing Dak's always had all this talent. You guys, our number 2 wide receiver 2 years ago was Noah Brown. You saw Noah Brown, didn't you? You saw Noah Brown, how he's getting killed in Washington, right? That was our number 2 receiver. And a Michael Gallup on one leg who literally retired the day after he left the Cowboys. Okay? I don't want to hear about all this great talent that we've had. Our offensive line has been in flux since Tyron Smith in 2017 started breaking down. And then losing Travis Frederick. And now you got Zach Martin, about to go on the scrap heap. I don't want to hear about all this talent because we ain't had a great defense that's been able to stop the run in forever. Okay? And Zeke Elliott, yeah, his first couple of years were great. But every single year of Zeke Elliott's career, he has been getting less yards per game. We get Cowboy players that everybody deems as great players because they're Dallas Cowboy players. The reality is we're very top heavy in talent. And when we lose a couple of those guys, we're crap. So do you look at this and say, oh, this is a failing of Mike McCarthy, that he can't coach? Well, you know, they've talked about how the offense isn't doing a whole lot of different things. Well, when you literally turn over the roster and you have all these young receivers and players that haven't played together, you kind of have to keep it a little bit simple. You know, every week we've had a new receiver. This week it was Mingo, you know, right? Jonathan Mingo. Man, we got the Mingo package. A couple weeks ago it was Ryan Fenoy. Okay? Oh, man, I can't wait to see that Ryan Fenoy. And Jalen Tolbert, he's just getting his real starts this season. So if we were failing completely, and you looked at that and said, you got a great offensive line, you got a great running game, I would say, yeah, Mike McCarthy needs to go. But you all know that we let go 9 starters, people. 9 starters. And the big signings that you had were Eric Kendricks and Zeke Elliott. That ain't on the coach. And so maybe that's Jerry Jones realizing he has to own some of this shit himself. And that maybe, just maybe, keeping the staff together and maybe actually going out and doing what he's supposed to do, getting some other players, might net a different result. We'll see. All right, good people. Peace.